Evening everyone, and welcome to ReinaMoe's DIY and Designs. And today we are going to do a brooch bouquet, and this particular tutorial is sponsored by none other than Totally Dazzled. So if this sounds like a tutorial that would interest you, please keep on watching. So to do this tutorial, we're going to use a it says 7.9, so basically it's an 8-inch half round ball. And then I picked up this styrofoam plate, is basically what I'm gonna call it. It's a disc. I picked this up at Michael's, and it happens to fit the 8-inch dome. And then I picked up this 3-piece smooth foam that I'm going to actually be using for the handle. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this pack and pull out one tube for my handle. And then I'm going to decide how long I want my handle. Now I'm figuring that the handle for a brooch bouquet should be able to fit smoothly and safely in your hand, so no more than this length. So what I'm going to do is just make a little hash mark with my scissors, and then I'm going to get my little new tool that I picked up from Michael's as well, and I'm going to use that to go ahead and cut this styrofoam. My Craft. And what I'm going to do is turn that on. And now that I've turned that on, I'm going to give it a little bit. Looks like it's bent a little bit. So make sure that when you check yours out at the store, or if you get it online, that you make sure that it's straight. But I'm just giving it a little bit of time to heat up and testing it out. Anyway, I'll get this figured out, and then all I'm going to do is use it to go ahead. Yeah, it's heating up now, so I'm going to give this a little bit of time to heat up. And what I want to do is find the center of my styrofoam here, and I'm going to cut a hole in it at the same diameter of this particular handle, is what I'm going to call it. And I'm just looking for my Sharpie. And I'm going to take my Sharpie, find the center, and then I'm going to mark it. And I do not want to cut all the way through this styrofoam. I just want to make enough of a indentation that I can seal this in with some glue. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the styrofoam cutter and just start going through where my circle is and sculpting that out. But I'm not going all the way through, and it cuts like butter. It's real smooth. And then I have some plastic tools that I can actually use, like for carving, that I'll use to actually carve the rest of this out. But I just wanted to make sure that I went as deep as I needed to with this styrofoam cutter. And for my handle, I'm going to go ahead and cut straight through, just like that. See how easy that was? I found a new toy. And there's no smell. That's what I'm really impressed with right now, that there's no smell. So what I'm going to do, because it's very loud, I'm going to go ahead and hull this out, and when I come back I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hot glue, and be careful of all your wires. And I'm going to go ahead and put hot glue in the center, because this is where I'm going to affix the handle. And I'm actually going to affix this end of the handle. and I'm just gonna load it up. Now they do make a styrofoam glue, and I have no idea how well it works, but I'm tempted to pick it up. Now at first I was thinking I wanted to use like PVC pipe or wooden dowel, but when I saw these foam sticks, I was like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely perfect. So this way the weight of the brooch bouquet will be obviously towards the top, but when you set this down into your vase that you'll have at the event, or that I will have at my event, it will be okay inside of the vase. And I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue to the base to seal it. And then that's gonna seal, and just making sure that that's nice and level. The next thing that I'm gonna do is take this sticker off of the top, and I'm going to affix the dome onto the base. So this particular half moon has a little nib here that I'm gonna go ahead and remove. And I'm just gonna cut that off. And then all I'm gonna do is add a little bit of hot glue all the way around the lip of the hollowed out ball, and then I'm going to affix it to the base, and when I come back I'll show you how it looks. I'm going to use this beautiful blushy toned ribbon to go ahead and cover around the perimeter of the styrofoam, and then when I come back I'll show you how that looks. So now that I have affixed the ribbon all the way around, I'm not going to worry about these little ripples that we have here, because I'm also going to cover the base with more of this ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and affix this Bling rhinestone all the way around the ribbon here, and when I come back I'll show you how it looks. So now I have affixed the rhinestone ribbon all the way around, and the next step is to go ahead and build our, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on the handle and the underneath side, and when I come back I'll show you how that looks. But first I'm going to take this same ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around and around and around to cover my base. Then I'm going to cut strips and lay them out like loops and cover the base of the holder, and when I come back I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so here's what the base and the handle looks like. And what I've done is I've taken some ribbon that's glittery from Dollar Tree, and I've just wrapped it around the handle. And then here you see I have taken the satin in the champagne color, and I have basically made a nice pin tucked type of ruffle at the bottom with 2 layers. So we have a slight graduation in colors of the colors that are going to be in my wedding. And so next is the really fun part. We get to decorate with roses. Roses that I actually picked up at JoAnn's, and I just thought they were so pretty. So I'm actually going to use these roses to affix to the dome, and when I come back I'll show you how it looks. My 2 different style of roses. The next step will be to bling it out with the brooches. So now we come to my absolute favorite part, which is to go ahead and decorate and bling out this beautiful bouquet that I've created. I love the concept of this bouquet as it is, but you know me, I've got to bling it out some more And so on this part, I want to take the time to thank Natalie at totallydazzled.com for sponsoring this video and providing us with all of this assortment that I hope you can see here of napkin rings and sliders and flat backs and beautiful brooches and even buttons. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and start affixing the different pieces of bling that I have here they're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. I purchased my vendor box, which you guys are aware of that, months and months ago. I bought all of the napkin rings for my wedding through Totally Dazzled. So when they reached out to me to create something with their products, and then they sent me the products, I was overjoyed. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but you know, these pieces are just, they're great quality. They're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this piece. This piece here is a brooch, and it's a grape brooch. Can you see the detail in that? The beautiful crystals that are in it, the pearls. And if you're someone who's more mature like me, you can't tell me that this doesn't look like a piece that your grandmother didn't hand down to you. My grandmother had a grape brooch. Hers was gold and it was multicolored. But this style of brooch looks very, very romantic and vintage. Just beautiful. And like even this napkin ring, I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm actually going to use that and put it on the handle of my bouquet, and just look how beautiful and elegant and how it has upgraded this bouquet before I've even added any other bling to it. I mean, the pieces that they have are just so beautiful. You can do so much with it, and I mean, it's I can hardly even speak. I'm so happy and so pleased with the quality of the product that they provide at Totally Dazzled. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to use all of these different pieces on this particular bouquet. I went to Amazon as usual because I shop there often, and I found these bouquet stems. Instead of creating my bouquet by ruining these pieces, I'm going to utilize things that I have here, things that I've gotten off of Amazon, so that I can still protect the integrity of these particular pieces because the quality is just so great. So I'm going to actually use these stems to affix the different brooches that I have. And then I'll show you how I'm going to use these napkin rings in this particular bouquet. So I'm going to start with the napkin rings. Actually, I'm going to pause the camera and unwrap everything because it's so noisy. And when I come back, I'll show you everything out of its package and then show you how I'm going to use it. Taken everything out of the packages except for the stems. I'm going to use those last with the brooches. And so I'm just going to begin with these gorgeous napkin rings. I mean, just look how beautiful that is. Now, because these are such great quality, the bouquet itself is beautiful on its own, but of course, you know me, I'm gonna bling it out. But I don't want to destroy the integrity of the napkin ring because it can be reused. You know, I would love to be able to pull this out on my 1-year anniversary after the wedding and be able to use these napkin rings. He may not recognize where they come from, but I would, and it would be a special little sentiment for me. So what I'm going to do is just look at the bouquet and find a spot where I might be able to see a little bit of the foam, and here's a little bit of a spot. So I'm going to take this particular napkin ring because it's nice and large, and I'm going to just press down a little bit to make an indentation into the foam dome. And then I'm going to take my hot glue and go right into this area where I made the indentation. and I'm just going to glue it. Place my glue, and then I'm going to place my napkin ring and just hold it for a few seconds, and then I'm going to let it go. And you see, it's pretty secure. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do with these other two napkin rings. I'm going to find a spot that I think would be beautiful. And it might be showing a little bit of foam. Say right here. Press, make my indentation, and then place my glue right there. And then press firmly to help it hold. And I'm going to do the same thing with this smaller one. About right here. Press into the foam. Add some hot glue. Hold it for a little while. And then fix my roses back. And just look how gorgeous that is. And you can see it's secure, it's not falling out. Needed to hold that one a little bit longer. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is start applying the flat backs, which I'll do on top of the roses, and when I come back I'll show you what they look like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to affix and adhere the slides as well as the buttons. And what I've done is the flowers, these flowers here that I got at JoAnn's, when you receive those, they have these little curly cues attached to them, so that if you wanted to actually use them to make like corsages or boutonnieres, you can. Well, I knew that I didn't need these stems for that, but I kept them because, you know, I don't like to throw away anything, and I'm going to use them as a stem, if you will, to actually puncture the dome and put them inside of the bouquet without having to use any hot glue on the actual item. So that's what you see that I've done here, and what I'm going to do here is the same. I'm just going to feed it through, and then once I have it fed through, just fold it over in half and twist it to give it a little bit more tensile strength. And then see, now I basically have a little pick, if you will, of these gorgeous, gorgeous embellishments. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of the buttons and the slides, and then I'm going to affix them into the bouquet. And when I come back, I'll show you how gorgeous it looks. Okay, and so with these particular slides, these 3 slides, I'm actually going to use ribbon inside the bouquet to affix those and add a little bit of texture and structure to the bouquet. So all I'm going to do is take my scissors, which I had right here, take my scissors and take the plastic off. And then I'm just going to take about this much ribbon. I'm going to fold it in half. and then fold it inward so that I can cut my dovetails. So that's going to give me my little dovetails. And then I'm just going to take the slide and feed it through. And make sure when you do this that you're using the right side of your ribbon. This particular ribbon, although it's from the Dollar Tree, it's the same on both sides. It's like a double woven. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put a little dot of glue to hold it closed. So it still will have a little bit of movement, but not too much movement. And then with that, I can just take, I have a little chopstick tool. Where did I put it? It's a tweezer, but it's a bead reamer on one end. So I'm just going to take that, and using the tweezer side, I'm just going to go in right here where the styrofoam is, and I'm just going to push this down in. And just play with it a little bit so that you can still see that beautiful rhinestone encrusted slide. And I've got ribbon coming out of the bouquet, and look how cute that is. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing with these other 3 slides, and when I come back I'll show you how it looks. As you can see, I have added the slides with a little bit of ribbon, and look how cute that is. It is just so pretty. So the next step is to actually add all of these brooches. So for that, I'm going to use these bouquet stems. And one thing you'll notice on these bouquet stems is right here, they have a bunch of little holes in a row on both sides. And the reason is so that depending on the depth of your actual pin, so that you can have it fit snugly on top of this silicone rubbery flower so that it stabilizes its face up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this particular brooch, and I'm putting it in the second hole because it has a little bit of depth to it. And look at that. It's sturdy and secure. It's not sliding around on that stem, and you'll notice that it's holding the head of that brooch straight up. So this is a very long one, so I have to cut it down, and I've already measured to the base of where the I've measured here to the base up to as high as I think I want it, which is going to be 7 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure this from the top of that brooch to 7 inches, and I'm going to take my trusty Southwire wire cutters, and I'm going to snip it at 7 inches. And then I'm just going to affix it inside the bouquet, straight down and through. And I want it to sit up, but not that far up, so I'm going to go ahead and take about another inch off. And then, let me get this situated right. And then I'm going to go ahead and place it where I want it. And look, it sits nice and flush on the head of that bouquet. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and do it to the rest of these bouquets using these bouquet stems. And when I come back, I'll show you the final look. But before I do that, I just kind of wanted to give you a good look at some of the brooches that I'm going to be using, because they're just so beautiful. This is one that reminds me of a Victorian piece. This is one that's very, very vintage. I love the filigree in it. I mean, the scalloped edges are just gorgeous. I already showed you the one that's the grape. And ladies, tell me, whose Nana didn't have a leaf pin and would wear it on Sundays with her finest hat? Now, this is the same as this one. And look at all of that detail, the different filigree in it. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I think this is my absolute favorite. It's like a starburst. It looks very, very regal and vintage. It's just gorgeous. And the bling, I hope you guys can see the sparkle in those stones. It is just so beautiful. So thanks again, Totally Dazzled, for sending these items to us. I'm going to go ahead and complete the look, and when I come back, I will show you this absolutely gorgeous brooch bouquet. Final look with all of the pieces, the buttons, the slides, the brooches, the napkin rings, all placed beautifully in this gorgeous bouquet. And it really is gorgeous. I'm so ecstatic about it. I can't wait to walk down the aisle with it. Now, I know that you guys should remember, if you've watched the video where I showed you some of the things that I had picked up. I got these pins off of Amazon years ago because I was looking for hat pins. It wasn't specifically for my wedding. I mean, I was hoping for a wedding back then, but I wasn't sure if that was ever going to happen. And I purchased these hat pins because I wanted them. Now recently I went on Amazon because I knew I was going to be creating myself a brooch bouquet, and I got these pins. And if you can see that, let me just see if I can open it real quick. You have these little diamond heads. Must be tape on both sides. And these are the bigger ones. But the pack comes with 3 different sizes. Obviously this is a smaller head of the little diamond pins, and it's shorter. So they're a little bit bigger and a little bit longer. Each one that you get, these are corsage pins, but with that little diamante on there, you could even stick those in your roses if you wanted to, and just have them sticking out. I don't have enough strength to punch through that plastic, but there we go. But I don't know if you can see that, but even that is cute. But honestly and truly, with these Totally Dazzled pieces, you really don't need anything else. They're just so versatile. They're so beautiful. If you are having any kind of elegant event, you need to go to totallydazzled.com. And they are so wonderful and so gracious that they're actually sponsoring a giveaway for us. So there will be one fortunate winner of a gift card, and I'll verify the amount, but I believe it's $20. But I'll put the information down in the description box. And also for everyone else, they have given us a coupon code, and that coupon code is ReinaMoe, and you'll get a percentage off of your purchase, and I believe it's 10%. But like I said, I'll have all of the information down in the description box. In order to enter for the giveaway, you will have to be subscribed, obviously, to both of our channels, totallydazzled.com's channel, as well as ReinaMoe's DIY in It Designs. You need to leave a comment down below on both of the channels. Well, definitely on this channel, on this particular video. leave a comment down below. I also ask that you go ahead and you follow me on Instagram, as well as I have a Facebook and I have Twitter, so follow us there. And I believe that that is all, but I will have all of the information down in the description box. And I just am so happy that TotallyDazzled.com went ahead and they sponsored this particular video. As you notice, I've used their products before. You see how beautiful the products are. I will be doing other tutorials with their products that's not sponsored, but I've already been using their products because they're just fabulous, and they're going to be a part of my wedding, which they were already going to be a part of my wedding. So this is just really, really, guys, I'm practically speechless. I'm practically speechless. Everything is just so much better than what I possibly could have imagined this bouquet to have turned out to be. The flowers are gorgeous, but each one of these pieces of bling really, really set this bouquet off. I mean, down to the pearl napkin ring handle embellishment, and also the rhinestone belt that I have here that I got off of Amazon, which you guys have been seeing me use. But I know that TotallyDazzled.com also has bling wrap. I didn't order that because I have plenty of bling wrap already, and to me it just didn't make sense. It made more sense to get items to beautify this particular bouquet, and I'm so happy with what I chose, and I'm so happy with the quality. So on that note, I want to tell you all, absolutely subscribe. Please share this video with anybody and everybody you can think of. Please leave comments down below, because I definitely want to have everyone have an opportunity at winning at that giveaway. And it's also come upon my heart to also do a second giveaway, and that's actually going to be different items that I have accumulated in doing all of the DIY crafts down below. If you're interested in that particular giveaway, which I'm going to do a separate video for that and upload it right after this particular video, so I can actually show you what'll be in those giveaways, in that particular giveaway, because we're at over 3,500. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers, and it's time for me to give back. So on that note, I want everyone to have an absolutely wonderful evening. Bye.